Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day in Africa. And, well, of course, aptly named to the Africam Show for the day. My name is Ali, and I'm actually very nostalgic and happy to be here with all of you today, looking at the beautiful bums of two of the biggest animals in Africa. We've got the eland on the left-hand side, and then, of course, a beautiful giraffe on the right-hand side. So I am very excited today because I have been away from South Africa for a while, as some of you may know, but I am heading back today in a very, very, very long journey. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth it. Now, it's very early in the morning, so I have got my coffee here, and I would like to say hello to everyone that's been sending their hellos. Just remember, this is interactive, so you can send us your questions, your comments, or, let us know what you're drinking on this fine morning or afternoon, wherever you might be. Daryl, you say, oopsie daisy, you're realizing that you're just a little early today. That is absolutely fine. I was also early today. I think I gave 8 in a fright. And you're enjoying a cup of Java and enjoying last week trying to enjoy the dark winter day in Toronto. I feel you. I am currently sitting in Nashville, and on Sunday it was so stormy and ugly. I had completely forgotten what the winter was like, and my admiration goes out to all of you humans that actually endure the winter. Hello from my sickbed. Oh no, so really sorry to hear that. Hope all well. Thank you for sharing things. Keeps me going. Suki V from the UK. Suki, well, let's hope that some of the African sunshine helps you and sends you all the healing vibes, because definitely got my spirit sort of kicked into motion. Mindy, I hope I'm going to pronounce your surname properly. Tilapo, can't wait to learn something new. I hope I learned how to say your surname. And Aussie Jan, you're back with your coffee. Great stuff. We coffee people are a great bunch of people. Gemma, you say, good day all, looking forward to what we see on the cams today. Well, these cams are pretty fantastic, and I keep telling everyone I bump into that they just really need to see them, because there's always something happening wherever we are in the world. I mean, now we're just looking at this beautiful giraffe walking away in Oldonyo in Kenya, but how amazing is that nowadays we can actually see what's happening in real time, pretty much across the world from us. It still blows my mind. Zygote, you said there was a European roller at Naledi Mud Dam this morning. Well, I must say, I was having a bit of a chuckle this morning because we were doing some of the checks and so on. And like I said, I've been away from South Africa for a little bit, and there are certain sounds and things that you forget about, but as soon as you hear them, they have the ability of transporting you into certain places. Now, rollers in general don't have the prettiest call, but I'm talking about the kingfishers, the woodland kingfishers, and they were making a noise, and you could hear them in some of the camps that I'm sure we're going to look at in a little bit. And and the impalas were making a noise, so it just transported me directly to Africa, to home, and it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, made me very nostalgic, very happy that I'm heading back today. Bob from Kalamazoo, you're saying good day. Well, good day to you. Zygote, you're saying, hi, Ali Olivieri. Hello. And Gemma, yes, I agree. You're saying, how exciting, have a great trip. Thank you. I really hope that it goes smoothly and then it goes quickly because I want to be back in the bush where I'm going to see all those beautiful views with my own eyes. I am really lucky. I know this. I know this. Mary Momo, you're saying hello from chilly Hot Springs, Arkansas, enjoying a piping hot fresh cup of coffee. Well, it seems like the coffee is the majority today. I've got coffee and tea just in case we run out of anything. Oh, look, there's a zebra that's joining Old Donio. And it was quite funny. I was, when Aiden said that we were starting at Old Donio, I got very excited. Very, very exciting. Ooh, however, there's something really cool. You know, I've got my viewers and I've got my spies on all the cameras today. So it seems like there are some tiny little baby impala at Naledi Dam, which obviously we need to go and see because baby impala are one of the best things that happen in the summer. Hello, cuties! Wow, look how lovely they are. I don't think impala get enough credit for being so pretty as they are. So we've gone across Africa. Now we are somewhere else. And oh, sorry, I see a lot of comments coming through, and I do want to get through all of them. Good thing that the mother impala came through, just to give everyone a bit of a size reference and just how big the females are with the smaller ones. I mean, they are a couple of months old, maybe about 2, 3 months old, depending on how early in the season they were born. I think I only saw my first one in November, maybe late October this year, but good to see that they're doing well. And it is not uncommon to see all of the youngsters sticking together. They tend to form little crushes, and then they, it's much nicer being with people your own age, I suppose, so they can play, they can run, and it's easier for all the parents just to keep an eye on them. Now, Glenda Newman Craft, you say hello from a cold Indiana. Oh, I'm really sorry. Hopefully the sun is shining, even if it's cold. Traveling with Salim from Dubai. Oh, all the way from Dubai. That's quite far. Glenda Newman Craft, you. Oh, okay, that's a repeat one. Sorry, I've already mentioned that. And Marie Claude, hello, Ali from Coldish, France. Well, Coldish is better than just plain cold. And as you can see, the bush is very lush in general in Africa. This is a season of plenty. It is very hot at this time of the year over there, but it is very green and it's very pretty. And all of the creatures, especially like impalas and even some of the leopards and the lions, are looking very fat at this time of the year. There's plenty of food for everyone. Water, though, not always looks great. I mean, look at that green manky water. So, they've got to find what they've got to find. But also, it's not like there's a shortage of water sources. And overall, my feeling in Africa this year is that we've had a really good rainy season. In most places in East Africa and Southern Africa, there's just been a lot of rain. And in South Africa, and I don't know if there's anyone that's watching from South Africa today, we also had a lot of rain during the winter, which is quite unusual. So we weren't particularly impressed as humans. But the good thing is that it allowed for a lot of food to be there for a lot of animals during during the year. And if you look at this little impala, they're all looking nice and fat, shiny coats, so they're looking very healthy. Probably the rest of the herd is hiding somewhere else because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ones, and it seems like an adult there. I don't think there would be any crocodiles living in this manky water, but there is a possibility that there is one waiting for them. You never know. Virginia Pool, I agree with you. They are quite pretty. I love them. I think they don't get enough credit and people don't spend enough time watching them. And I have always found that when you stay with impala, for long enough, sometimes too long, then you'll always see a cat. Now, talking about bigger things, I'm being informed by one of the spies also that there are some elephants at Tau. So let's go and have a look because we might get lucky with the elephants maybe having a bath or maybe spraying some mud or maybe just being around. Almost, you see, their wet bums indicate that they have been in the water. They're looking quite shiny, more so than what an elephant would look like. I think maybe they've already been because they're just facing away from the water. And if they were coming to the water, then well, of course we would see their faces. Oh, but you can hear also all the weavers, which is very nice. You see in the middle of the screen, all those little nests, all those things hanging from the trees, those are the nest of the weavers. Cannot tell from here, maybe sociable weavers or village weavers. Whole building, not sociable, village, or masked weavers all together. Oh, look at that. John, you say howdy and everyone from Chile, Florida. Question, is the algae at Naledi Dam seasonal or introduced by animals? Do you think it will go away anytime soon? Well, the algae is a problem in most of the water sources, especially when the water starts going down. So we do in the summer, generally, we don't see it as prominent in the sort of like the big moving rivers and areas where the water flows, because then it just gets taken away. But when you find it in mud wallows and during sort of the heat of the day, or when it's starting to become a little bit drier and it hasn't rained for a couple of days, then you find like it's more concentrated and you can see it more. So sometimes it happens that animals like hippos, they move from one pan to the next, or for example, rhinos or buffalo, when they go and mud wallow from one pan to the next, and they might bring some of this algae and introduce it into other areas or other pans or other water sources where they weren't before. It is a natural occurrence, and there is a bit of debate as to if it's toxic or not to some of the animals. I know there was a study done on this algae done in the Kruger, not sure how long ago, maybe 10, sort of 15 years ago or so. And it showed that particularly with zebra, the algae was really bad and it attacked the liver function if they ingested too much of it. It doesn't seem to affect, for example, hippos that can sometimes live in very murky water. Doesn't seem to have that much of an effect on impala either. I mean, the study was done on zebra, but it is, I suppose there is a level of toxicity associated with it. It depends how much an animal consumes of it. It might be more dangerous to its health than not. Bluebird, you're saying howdy from Texas. Thanks for this. Very happy to be able to bring it to you. And traveling with Salim, you're wondering where the monkey is. I am not sure. Maybe they're somewhere around here. We've just got a lot of weavers that are weaving their nest. Everyone's busy at this time of the year, especially the birds and the weavers. They've got to make sure that they seduce all the females, and then they build all the nests so that they can have more chicks. And then in turn, then the cuckoos are waiting. Certain species of cuckoos, like the Diederik's cuckoos and so on, they're waiting for the weavers to leave their nest or maybe go hunting for food and such, and then they go in very quickly, lay an egg, and then they leave for their chicks to be raised by another parent, which is one of the biggest scams in the history of animals, I suppose. Very clever birds that have designed a whole strategy to ensure the existence of their species without actually having to do anything about it other than mate. When you look at it that way, they're quite clever, aren't they? But their noises also, when they're making all their nests, it's one of those typical things. Just as, the beautiful butt of the elephant, that's also a very typical view. I think maybe some quillas flying around as well that you can see in the camera that look like little bits of pixelation, but actually, another species of bird that's fluttering about. Amber Co, you say happy Tuesday to all and excited for another show. Well, welcome. We're glad you could join us today. Oh, it seems like the elephant in the back might just, it almost looked like it wanted to turn around and come this way and say hello to us, but maybe not. It's always great when you see elephants at this time of the year because they're just having such fun eating. When you see them in the water, that's prize number one. But look at them, just how they pull the grass and then they just eat it and then they shake it to get rid of like the mud or the dust or anything that might be on it. And then they just eat it like, like lazily lying about and then just eating their stuff. I love it. It's great. Oh, it seems like there's a very... So let's have a look and wonder why this impala is timid. Is it windy? Is there a lion nearby? Maybe an impala? Maybe a leopard? Let's just have a look here and see what's happening. It could be that there's something else around, but also let's just remember that going down, it doesn't seem like the wind is blowing, but as I was saying, going down to drink, putting your head down, that is the one instance where impala and pretty much other antelope, even cats, I mean, if you see lions and leopard, you're quite vulnerable. You have to put your guard down and focus on the water. So your vision might be somewhat impaired, and then you rely on your other senses just to make sure that nothing comes from behind and eats you. So at certain times of the year, especially, you see that more in the winter than what you actually see it in the summer. You'll see things like lions and leopards waiting by the pans because they know things are going to have to come and drink and that there aren't many water sources available. So everything that comes to drink is incredibly nervous. But at one stage, especially if you go to the desert areas, they have to go and drink from the pan. There's no other way. So it's a bit of a sort of like a game where a lot of luck is involved. Like, do the predators want to eat? They know they're there. The antelope know that they're there. So it's a bit of a tricky one. So at this time of the year, a little bit easier. They've come down. They seem pretty relaxed, the ones that are drinking. And I think it's the ones in the middle that have got their heads up and to use their ears to determine any noises that might be coming around. If you see the ones in the background, they're also not eating. So they're definitely paying attention to something. It could be just general nervousness. Impala are good that way. When one reacts, then all of them are almost like set on edge. It's one of the good things about living in a group. When somebody sees something or thinks they see something, then the rest of them are also on alert. Just in case, because you never know. I mean, look at all the greenery around it. Very easily a pack of wild oats could come dashing and they would only see them last minute. A lion could be hiding in there, and then of course a leopard. So, I thought I saw something else in the background, but it was just another impala. Jennifer McGrath, you're saying, thank you for allowing me to bring Africam into my biology classroom. Oh, that's amazing. Well, very happy that all of your kids, I am assuming, are enjoying Africa from your classroom. This is amazing. I wish I could have done this when I was in a classroom, and that made me feel very old, but let's enjoy what we've got for the time being. That was a very scary moment for all of the impala. I don't know if there was something in the water itself. It could have also just been a terrapin that popped up and then they all had pretty much a panic attack and they ran away. But also, it's very hard being an impala. You've got to look behind your back because there might be a lion or a leopard lurking, or there might be a crocodile in the water. So it's a bit of a scary one. I would also be quite nervous. Alrighty. Oh, it seems like we have a better view of the Eli at Tau and more elephants at Timber. So we're going to leave it up to Aiden to choose which elephant is the best, and then take us there, Aiden. Take us to the elephant. This is indeed a better view of the elephant at Tau. And it's so muddy. Well, I mean, considering that is about, 4 o'clock in South Africa, it's very hot at this time of the day in the summertime, and it can be very humid if it's been raining. So elephants, being the very clever creatures that they are, they tend to go into the water and big water sources quite a bit, and they either go fully in and then they just have the best bath and time of their lives, or they just spray water all over their bodies, particularly behind their ears, just to cool themselves down. If you look at the elephant now that it's flapping the ears, it's an indication that it's cold. Now, I know there are a lot of myths and legends out there saying that if an elephant is flapping its ears, it's very angry. Elephants do tell us a lot about their behavior with their ears, but in this case, it's not angry. It's just, if it were angry, it's just angry at the heat. Generally, when elephants want to show off, then they'll open their ears and then they'll leave them open and they will show you that. In this case, he's just trying to create a current of air behind the ears where the skin is a little bit thinner, and then there are a lot of capillaries behind the ears. So as they flap their ears and they create almost like this little breeze, then the blood behind the ears starts cooling down, and as it carries on flowing through the rest of the animal's body, then it cools the animal down, which is a pretty cool radiator system almost. So they've got to play with all their skills to try and cool down, because, I mean, thick-skinned animals, it's not easy in the summertime, and will probably fare a little bit better in the winter, but can get tricky in the summer. Oh, you hear a zebra in the distance? Very nice. And it's just, you see how it's being a very clever elephant, and it seems like it's eating the greener stuff in the middle of that patch, because there are, I can't tell from here, maybe some red grass, or maybe some grass that is a little bit drier that the elephant is not interested in, and he's just, nope, I'm just gonna go tuck myself straight into the middle of the salad bowl and eat the nice stuff. I could spend an eternity watching elephants. It's just also, it's very funny how they have the system. So you can't see it from now, but generally what they'll do is they'll put their trunk down, they wrap it around whatever it is that they're trying to pull in the grass, and then if they don't manage to pull it properly because it's hard, I mean, if you've ever tried pulling roots from the ground, it's not always that easy. Then they give a little kick with their front legs just to create some tension, and then they just remove it from the ground. I think he did it a little bit earlier, but it seems like he found an easy patch. Maybe the ground is very wet, maybe it's been raining, and then that just proves to be a little bit easier. And then when you guys see that it shakes its trunk or it shakes the grass against the, oh, there it did it. It shakes the grass against its butt. It's just trying to get rid of all the grass. Not all the grass, sorry, all the dirt that might be on the grass. Because eating a lot of dirt does, what's the word that I'm looking for? Reduce their teeth, eat away their teeth. There is a proper word for this, but I'm sorry, my coffee has not kicked into my brain yet. So it just reduces the teeth, wears them down. Like that's it. Oh my god, that was complicated. Sorry everyone, but I got there in the end. And elephants only have a certain amount of teeth in their mouth, so they can only replace their teeth so many times during their lifetime. And the drier things that they eat, then their teeth wear down quicker, meaning that they won't have teeth in good condition when they're older. And then that means that whatever they feed on, because their teeth don't have the ridges but are very smooth, and they're not able to actually break down their food, which then means that they're not able to fully take the nutrition from what it is that they're eating. That was a very complicated explanation. I think maybe I'm going to have another sip of my coffee. See if that'll wake me up. Glenda, Newman Craft, you're wondering if the oxpeckers bother the elephant. Funny enough, I've never seen an oxpecker on an elephant, and that is pretty much due to the fact that the elephants have one very important appendage that can swat an oxpecker away. So oxpeckers might look at the elephants like a very juicy food source, but very rarely will you see an oxpecker on an elephant. Elephants don't really enjoy them, and again, as I said, if an oxpecker lands on an elephant, they can very easily use their trunk to sort of swat them away. So oxpeckers have learned that other creatures without trunks, such as the buffalo, rhino, even impala or warthogs, are much nicer to them and allow them to feed for longer. Kim Twister, hey everyone, I love Africa. If you do know me from WE, which is Wild Earth, hello Kim Twister, lovely to see you here as well. Always nice to share all of the Africa-like things around the world. What is that? There are some big birds flying in the distance, but I can't tell what it is. But it's nice seeing all the quillies, maybe larks, maybe who knows, little birds flying around there. And then, oh, now that the elephant flaps the ears, just have a look if you can, because you'll see the prominent veins that stick out from the back of the ears. So that's what he's trying to cool, and he's rotating or in his position. So it could be that he's following the breeze. And he's trying to be downwind so that when he opens his ears, the breeze blows into its ears. It is amazing to think that these animals are so in tune with their environment. They know exactly this, because if you ask anyone in a city, 90% of the time, and I was like this before I started living in the bush, you ask them where is north, where is east, where is the wind coming from. It's complicated. You don't really know because you don't really need to know. But here we go. We've got all these animals that rely on all of these things, and I don't think it's necessarily taught, but like there's a lot of sort of instinct that that they use in order to be able to survive and make their lives a little bit easier. Because in Madikwe at this start of the year, the heat can be very oppressing. It's not really something I always find that the worst time in South Africa is between sort of like for the Christmas holidays and then roughly until mid-February. It can be very hot, very humid. I mean, it is beautiful because it's very green, but it's not the best. Okay, Aiden is telling us that there are some more Ellies at Tembe, so we haven't been to Tembe yet, so let's head there and see what those elephants are doing. You are a beautiful tusker, and you're also very hot, but in this case, are you dust bathing, or are you just enjoying the shade? Well, maybe he's just preparing it, because when we first arrived, he was definitely just using his trunk to scratch around in there, and then kind of seemed like it wanted to use his foot. So, and it seems like there's some light coloration on its back, so maybe it was putting some sand on. Okay, unfriendly Ellie, come back. This camera shy. He doesn't want to stay on today. No, definitely some impala around here. I am guessing that it is very hot and tempting today if this elephant is in the heat, in the shade. Doesn't want to be anywhere where the sun is touching it, at least for now, and who knows how long it's been there. But if you see the impala in the background, they're also hiding from the heat. I think this Ellie might just be a little bit on the sleepy side as well. You see how it's holding his trunk on its tusks? Generally a good sign that they're not feeling great, or not feeling great isn't like being awake. Not that there's anything wrong with this animal. Should have used better words. Saigon, you say you remember me with two southern ground hornbills singing on a Wild Earth drive, and I've never seen it again. I remember that drive. That was a pretty cool drive. But I don't know if it was only two. Was it two? And they were duetting and singing to one another. Oh, that was beautiful. I remember that drive very well because that's one of the best sort of southern ground hornbill sightings I've ever had. I think also, didn't we see southern ground hornbills? I think we saw them on one of the cams on one of the Africam shows not too long ago. I could be making this up, but my memory wants me to almost remember that. But this is true. I mean, it would be pretty cool if they arrived now onto the camera and started singing. I would have nothing against it. You're also wondering, you see his ears are curling at the top. Is this a case of poor nutrition, stress, or is it totally normal? No, that is normal. They generally curl at the top like that. Sometimes what you'll see is that the ears sort of flap forward or sag, or they have like a fluffy ear. And then that is not normal. That generally happens maybe because the little ones go through a thicket or an adult, and then the ear sort of like flips the wrong way around. And then sometimes they cannot put it the right way around. But this, what you're looking at, is perfectly normal for an elephant. That's how the back of an elephant's ear looks like. Ah, look at that. He is sleepy. He's scratching his eyes. Very sweet. I think they are a little bit of, I think, well, the impala not so much because it's eating, but the elephant definitely looks a little bit uncomfortable with the heat. And it's looking quite dark even for being in the heat, so I suspect maybe it's just been, oh, that's a cool screenshot of the elephant and the impala. I suspect it's been in the water as well. Going with some attitude. I wonder if this elephant is not a must, because also like the holding of the trunk like that, just walking with an attitude for no reason. So must is a condition that male elephants go into, and they become very grumpy. And it lasts normally for about 3 months, and then they have heightened testosterone levels, and they're easy to distinguish from a distance if you're seeing them, because they tend to walk like swaying their head from side to side. They're normally causing trouble. They're the ones that sometimes chase the cars and so on. So I don't know. I wonder if this guy was feeling the testosterone and had a bit of an attitude when it was, or maybe he just wanted to look cool in front of all the impala, which are having a good time. Maybe the Ellie was being a bit of an exaggerated pachyderm, because all of you guys seem to be pretty happy eating in the sun. Zygote, you are saying yes, that it was the duet singing of the southern ground hornbill. I remember talking about birds. I can hear a purple-crested churaco calling in the distance. I don't know if you guys heard it. It's like, ruff, ruff, ruff. They are beautiful birds, and we don't really see them all that often in the area that I'm in. I live close to Orpen Gate in the Kruger National Park in South Africa, and they're generally in areas where you have a lot of water. And we found one, or we started hearing one in one of the estates where we lived in Pittsburgh, and we were just like, no, where is it? And we looked like crazy people trying to find it because we hadn't seen it for a long time. So that was very funny. Glenda, you say that there was a hornbill at the Naledi Dam Cam recently. Was it a ground hornbill or was it just a normal hornbill? We've got a bunch of different species of hornbill. They're all pretty entertaining, I'm not going to lie. And they're very, very cool. It seems like there's also a water buck at some of the camps. I don't know which animal is still there, but let's go and have a look at either one of them for the last bit of the show. Ha! Water bug. Great call. Look how pretty that looks. Oh my goodness. I love it. Big rivers, big trees, and big animals. It's always a win. Well done, Aiden. You chose well. I agree with you. This is so pretty. Very, very peaceful view. I'm glad this was our very last view for the day, and I hope you've all enjoyed the show. And it's, as usual, very lovely having you all on board and chat about the things we like the most, which is everything that's in Africa that has potentially 2 to 4 legs. I'm joking now, even a few more. Oh, there's even a big water bug. So I'm going to be quiet because this is a very pretty scene, but thank you all for joining, and hopefully we'll see you all on Thursday. I think I'm back. Or if not, I'll see you guys when I see you.